Hi, it's me again. It's been a while since I posted. A lot has happened since the last time I posted. I guess you see my voice is a lot stronger right now, but I've been through quite a bit. My left lung collapsed twice since the last time I posted. I was in a hospital for a total of about 12 days, 6 days each time. They call it a pneumothorax, and the first time it collapsed, it actually was the lung collapsed to the point that it was pressed up against my heart, and it caused a lot of pain. And I ignored the symptoms for an entire day. The symptoms are extreme shortness of breath, to the point where you can hardly breathe, you're panting for air, chest pain, tightness in your chest, or feel like an elephant is sitting on your chest. That time we went to the emergency room because I was on my way to see my doctor. I had tried to avoid the emergency room by going for a regular doctor visit, but it didn't work out that way. They did a chest tube. They forced a tube into your lungs. The lungs operate on the principle of negative pressure, so they had to deal with that to get my lungs to reinflate, and it did work. After about 6 days, they let me go home. Now, they always put me in intensive care unit because of that medicine I'm on, that Flolan. That Flolan, most hospitals don't know how to deal with it. So the hospital that I go to, there are certain nurses that know. They're called the Flolan nurses, and they're in ICU. Now, even though I was there in that unit, they didn't have to mix my medicine. I had to mix it myself and administer it to myself every day. Now, so that was the first time. Then about 9 days later, I went back in, and same thing. Only this time I recognized the symptoms immediately, and we called 911 immediately. Pneumothorax it's life-threatening. The first one especially, because it was pressed up against my heart. So it was, and I forgot to say, I got another chest tube. So I had 2 chest tubes, and that was not enough. They had to figure out why why it was collapsing, because if it can't collapse again, that time it may be too late for me if it collapsed again. So they decided to go in and see what was going on and to fix the problem. So I had a thoracic surgeon came and met with me and told me what he was going to do, and his goal was to avoid a pleurodesis. And that pleurodesis is when they surgically they staple your lung to your chest wall, and that way it cannot collapse. It can never collapse when they do that. But the bad part, or the negative of doing pleurodesis, is that I could never be a candidate for a lung transplant, because they would not be able to replace the lungs. So that was what we were hoping, that it wouldn't have to be a pleurodesis. They wouldn't have to do that. So they went in, and what the doctor found was a lot of some kind of gelatinous-like substance. He said was all over my lung. He cleaned that up. He found scar tissue. He scraped the scar tissue away. He found cysts. He found bullous. The bullous that they thought was causing the problem wasn't causing the problem, but he removed that anyway. He actually found a hole in the upper quadrant of my left lung, and he stapled that. So after he went in, so I ended up having 2 chest tubes, and then the surgery where he went in, he did it thoracoscopically, meaning he used a scope, a camera, and the instruments that he used to suture and do everything. So he only had to cut me very, very small cuts in order to do that. So that was a success. Of course, I was sore, and I still do feel pain from it, but I was very sore afterwards. But I was allowed to go home, and I was thankful for that. Long story short, sometimes it's an uphill battle, but you just keep going. And the message today is that, you know, every single minute, second, nanosecond that you have, it's a miracle from God. Life in itself is a miracle. You know, the fact that we're breathing right now, that I'm communicating with you, there's something miraculous about everything. And you just have to appreciate that. And I know that, you know, some people might say, you know, my life, oh, that girl has a terrible life. She's, you know, she's on oxygen. She can't, you know, do a lot of things. She can't exercise. She can't, you know, walk with her kids on the beach. You know, she can't, a lot of things I can't do. But there are a lot of things that I can do. And what I decided to do is to embrace what I can do, not what I can't. And I can enjoy each moment that I have. And I can be thankful for each moment that I have, and I am. The other day, something so simple, I went to lunch with Jaden at school. And I try to do that, you know, as much as I can as far as, you know, physically. And when he got home from school, I said, how was your day? He said it was the best day ever. I said, what made your day so great? What happened? He said, you came to lunch. You came to lunch. The fact that I came to lunch with him made it the best day ever for him. Do you know how that made me feel? It just warmed my heart. It just made me feel good. And that was not a big deal. For him, it was major. The fact that Mom came to lunch. Last year, I think I went to lunch with him 3 or 4 times. I didn't go a lot because I didn't feel like it. But I'm going to go out there as often as I can because it means a lot to him. When he feels good, I feel good. So I might not be able to run behind a soccer ball with him or go outside and shoot basketball with him, but there are other things that I can do with him. I can sit down and read a book with him, and you know, we can get on the computer and do stuff. I can play games that are handheld games with him. I can play Uno. We can do dominoes. There's a lot of things we can do together. We can go watch a movie together. So what I'm trying to say, I know I'm getting random and gotten off focus what I was talking about. There are a lot of things you can do. Be grateful, be thankful, enjoy life. It's a miracle. And just love each other. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Love you all. Until next time.